back to work on the good old Honda Cub. Last time we got this thing running, everything else motor-wise dialed for this thing. Now it's time to come in here and make this thing look pretty. So we got a lot to do on cleaning up these plastic. Look, they're just all scratched up and just chipped up, and stickers are completely faded off. We got some big cracks up here. Really faded plastic. We did the seat already. The seat's looking good. And then we got some parts down here that are going to be taken off to go to powder coating. So see the foot pegs, which is actually this one's bent, as you see. So we're going to be taking my other one off my parts bike, putting it on here, taking some of these other parts off to get powder coated, take the wheels apart, take the swing arm apart. I think we're going to get everything cleaned up. Basically, I need to take all the plastics back off of this thing, and then we're going to be stripping it back down. We also have to put in a few other parts that we got in a couple of these boxes, some tires. Luckily, everything's just sitting on here right now, so it's going to be very easy to get it back apart. Alright, now begins the fun process. So, this plastic right here is super chipped up, super faded, and we luckily have the broken piece. This main piece right here that I showed you that was on the bike is what holds like past the gas tank, and it holds the bottom panel on. Luckily this was in the box still, it was just broken. So it looks like they tried super gluing it before, and it's the full piece. I'm very glad we found that. And then we have just a couple broken tabs on the inside that we're going to try fixing with these little pieces that I have remainder of it too. Plastic welder, it has like certain clips that you can melt into the plastic to use it for support and everything like that. So we're going to see how this all works. I think we got this, boys. So I learned right away. This one I went two sideways, so only one little piece was on the crack. But then on these ones, you can see that, went a little bit more along with the crack and was able to get multiple loops on it, whereas that one was like the one. So we'll clean it up, boys. We're getting there. Alright, so I started to burn through a little bit on that one, but we got the tab back on there, and then we got this one on the inside. We got it laced all the way down, and then I melted the plastic on top. Outside looks a little rough, and as you can see I burned through on one spot, but it's on there. Now I'm going to take like a Scotch-Brite and some degreaser and really try to get this thing cleaned up a little bit. Hopefully be able to scuff this down a little bit, make it look a little better. We will. Alright, here's just a tease at the start of the cleaning process of this. So there we go. Very dried out plastic. You can see it down the center here. Looking good. This doesn't have a full buffed shine to it yet. This is me just using the polisher. As you can see up here, I started to buff it out. This, after I already went through and used the magic eraser on everything, degreaser, got all the oils and everything out of it, and then I put it back in with the polishers. Got another small crack on the back of the skirt here that we're going to use the plastic welder on to fix as well. I already sprayed it down, but you see. Alright, so taking a break from the cleaning stuff right now because I want to get the starter off this engine because we need it. So I got the starter off, but now we're going to take all this off because I think the appendix gear for the starter on the inside is what we're missing on the other one as well. Wow. That is dirty, man. It even has the little rollers. It's exactly like a scooter. That's crazy. The ram plate is huge on this thing though, but it literally has rollers and everything in it. I wonder if we can adjust the rollers and mess with this thing, getting it more of a wheelie bike without having to change sprockets, etc. Alright, these are all the parts I just took off that need to be powder coated. So we have the kickstand, the under peg tray, which I have 2 of them because I thought one was bent, but it turns out that it was actually the peg that's bent. I'll show you guys that in a second. So we're just gonna go ahead and powder coat both of them just because I have the foot pegs. So here is a normal foot peg, and can you tell which one's bent? So I'm gonna continue with cleaning up the plastics, most importantly getting the graphics off of here. Here's what one of the side panels is looking like so far. Nice and cleaned up. Shining pretty good. We're still gonna go in and actually polish it up. And the chain guard as well. Chain guard looks pretty new. The chain guard looks really good. So now the fun part, getting this decal off. Look how rough this plastic is though. The red's not too faded on this piece, but man, has everything else seen better days. Got the sticker peeled off pretty good, and I'm cleaning up the edges a little bit now. I'm about to hit it with some degreaser like soap and a magic eraser and try to buff it out a little bit by hand and get a lot of these scuffs out of there.
Ask them about the waist trainer, say the name of it, and I'm showing it, get them pissed off, waist trainer promoted, bam, got it. So I can't run right now, I have a series where I can do other people's products with this and it's paid. You didn't get paid for that first video?
Wow.
I did, she did.
It is shining now.
Yeah, she really ran the risk of not getting paid.
Alright, so even cleaning up more with the EZ90 build, we went and got an ultrasonic cleaner for the bolts and the little bits. There's actually a few comments on the video in the last one, which is funny because I ordered this like literally the night before on Prime Day, before I dropped that video. And a bunch of people were like, yo, use an ultrasonic cleaner. That's exactly what I was thinking. So we got a few random little bolts and bits that we're just going to be kind of dropping in here. This is one I just cleaned up, so that's like the spring before. This is like before, and this is after the ultrasonic cleaner. So we're gonna take like stuff like this, stuff that's just a little pain in the ass to clean. It's like stained because these are normally like zinced. We'll set them in here, and then we'll turn this bad boy on, like little parts like this. But let's try to get some of these bolts. Turn that bad boy on. Alright, so we dropped off some of the Honda Cub parts for powder coating. I don't think I'm going to go through and powder coat the wheels. The wheels are really not that bad though. Like my other ones had actual rust pockets. They just have tiny little nicks everywhere. Using a magic eraser and coming in here and actually shining up these wheels and cleaning them real good, that will get most of this clean. The reason I really wanted to do the swing arm was because there was this red splatter paint. I don't know what he did, but there's like red paint everywhere on it. But I took a magic eraser to this spot, and it took the red paint right off. So the only thing I'll have is this rust spot, but that's hidden by the chain guard, and then it'll just be this spot. Otherwise, the paint's actually really good on this swing arm. There's no rust, and like I said, the wheels have very minimal little rust patches. Unlike my other ones, literally had like this whole ditch was just solid rust. So forks aren't too bad either. I don't think it's worth spending another $400. We're gonna take the back wheel off now. We're gonna put a new back tire on it. And I'm going to take this chain off and put this chain in the ultrasonic cleaner and clean this chain, and we'll grease it all and redo all this chain stuff. It else looks pretty good. This back tire is actually in pretty good condition other than the obvious dry cracks going all the way around it, but it held air still. So I know these are worth a lot, but I actually have the Duro, which is the exact tread. And I guess these tires are hard to find now. I didn't know that, but it's the exact tread as the OEM tire. That's pretty sick. So these wheels do not look too bad at all. They look like I can clean them up pretty good. Now it's time to come in here. We'll clean all this up the best we can, get it all shined up, and I think we'll be good with what we're working with on the swing arm. So, alright, got even more going down on the EZ90 right now. So I got both the wheels off. I already put the new tire on the back wheel. I came in here with a magic eraser and cleaned up the rim a bunch. So that's what it looks like before. It has all these like little stains on it. It's almost like paint. It looks like it's like gray paint almost, but it's like really stained. And I'd say we got it to like an 8 out of 10. As you can see, there's these little spots. I'm still gonna clean this one up more. You can see like these little pieces of, these little spots of red paint but the wheel itself is like shining now. Like they look like two different color whites. So as you can see, it was pretty stained, but we got that all good. We threw the tire on, and then now we're cleaning up all the accessories for it. So over here, we got the whole hub assembly. We got all the little bolts, the chain tensioners for the swing arm, the front hub, and then we got all the pieces to the sprocket and all the bolts and everything that we're about to throw in to the Ultrasonic Cleaner. Now, these things right here, dude, game changing for cleaning all this up right now. And then we got some major goodies over here. So this is just the bumper for the actual foot peg bar down here that I got from the homie Andrew Zupa, little OEM Honda one. And then the missing piece right here. So the grill that goes underneath the bike, I think it goes in this direction. It mounts into those little slots right there, something like so. These are super hard to find for the OEM ones. So luckily my boy Andrew makes these, or gets them made in carbon fiber. So we'll just have to get it paint now. A little expensive for this, but not too bad compared to how much the OEM ones go for. So very stoked on that. And then in here, we got all our powder coat bits. So here's one foot peg. As you can see, I went satin black. I want to say it's a little bit more glossy black OEM, but I just went satin black. I love the way the satin black stuff looks, and there's really not that big of a difference. And it just looks less cheap, in my opinion. If you remember, I showed you guys how the one side of the foot peg was completely bent up. Well, it's not the actual foot bar. These are actually perfectly squared. It's the foot peg itself. So look how bad that bend was. That worked out good. And then I have my kickstand. Alright, peg assembly all together. We got our shiny little bits in there. Now we got the OEM little bumper piece that goes right in here. Like so. New OEM little bumper. As fresh as can be. Cub all the way taken apart. Took the headset out because I'm going to re-grease it and clean up the headset. But you can see the difference in one fork leg cleaned versus the other one. And the cover. A magic eraser works perfect on the cover. It takes off like the top layer, gets it nice and blue again, and then come in here with some plastic or some rubber polish and actually make this thing shine up. But putting the headset back in. Headset bearings all cleaned up. These things were thrashed. Re-grease them, throw the forks back in, get back to cleaning. Clean up everything. We got this wheel all thrown back together. It's all shiny. Looks so good in here. All the hardware, everything is clean on it. Got some serious elbow grease restoring these, but look at the difference in left to right. This was before, this is after. Just hitting it with a magic eraser, getting in all the crevices I possibly can and cleaning this thing out. Now it's time to hit up on the other one. We'll be able to start throwing this thing together. Got the forks all in, got the headset, fresh grease in the headset, all good in there. Got a handful of some more OEM bolts and screws we needed for the Cub. And here we got some OEM brake pads. So we'll pull these things out, throw the new brake pads in there, and we finally get to complete the wheel. Front wheel all shined up now. A ton of time cleaning up the Cub in this video, and we still got a little bit more to do. But as you can see, I did bolt the fork covers now. Everything looks so good in there. So now it's time to throw the wheels back on, throw the new painted up foot pegs in, kickstand, everything like that. Get this thing rolling again so it's not sitting like this whole time. Alright, the wheels are back on the Cub and it looks amazing. Look how clean it looks up here. So shiny, everything looks brand new. It's actually pretty crazy. We did a really good job with this one, man. The only thing is the chain. I could have bought a new chain, but honestly the chain is completely hidden by the chain guard anyways, so I have a bunch of chain degreaser, chain lube, and a brush that I'm going to come in here, clean up, and it's going to splash all over the wheel and the swing arms. We're going to have to clean that again. But not a big deal. We'll get this even shiny. It's the little things. It's the little thing. Alright, so we got everything thrown back on the EZ. The only thing we got to do is I only put one bolt in the foot peg because I got to drop it to make it a little easier to get this cover off so we can put the new belt and fix the electric start in this thing. It's looking good in here. We got the kickstand. We got our kickstand switch all in there. We got everything hooked up in the brake. It's so nice. It's so clean in here. The wheels look amazing. The shock covers look good again. I'm still going to clean up the back of them. As you can tell, it was just hard the way it was sitting on the stand. So now we get to come in here once everything's together, shine it all up again. So this thing's looking absolutely amazing right now. I'm so stoked on this. Have all the plastics to shine up, all the plastics to finish up, put all the stickers on all the plastics, put the foot brake back on, and that's pretty much everything. We got some more OEM bolts coming in over here to put on. And it's time to just really finalize this thing. I think that's going to do it for the Honda Cub for this episode. We did a lot of cleaning and pretty much just restoring this bike. Next time we will be completely finishing the EZ. We have all the plastics I have a couple pieces on the way that we will have to paint, put all the new graphics on, throw the EZ together. Gonna get the first ride in on it, like a true ride, because I only rode it up and down the street a couple times. A lot of plastics to clean up. I probably cleaned up like half of them. We got a lot of plastics to clean up, and like I said, we still got a couple to paint. So still a lot more work to go on the EZ90, but it's coming along great, and it's looking amazing. I mean, just look at this thing, dude. If you remember the condition it first came in, this thing is looking absolutely amazing now. So the EZ has came a long way. So that's gonna do it for this one. I will see you guys in the next one when we get to finish the EZ90.